Today's prep session is Healthy Bites, Catchy Beats, teaching nutrition through music and joy. So we hope that you'll experience some of that joy throughout our time together. March is National Nutrition Month, so this topic is quite timely, and we hope we'll give you some resources and some tips to bring to life with the young people who you work with. We'll be taking a look at Hip Hop Public Health's resources, Eat the Rainbow, Little Sugar, and Let's Talk About Salt. And we're going to have a great conversation with our special guest, L'Oreal Clark from Wellness in the Schools. I'm Lindsay Harm with Hip Hop Public Health. My colleagues Pixel and Jennifer are here today who will be facilitating this session. And again, L'Oreal, who we're thrilled to have join us. For those of you who may not be familiar with Hip Hop Public Health, we are a nonprofit organization. We are based in New York City, but we work nationally. We were founded close to 20 years ago now by the legendary hip hop artist Dougie Fresh, who's the pioneer of human beatboxing, and by a neurologist and behavior change specialist, Dr. Olajide Williams, who Dougie has named the Hip Hop Doc. So they started this organization 20 years ago to use the power of music, to use catchy hip hop songs and amazing beats combined with scientific evidence and medical information to bring health topics to life for young people and their families. And so we are excited to bring those to you today with a focus on nutrition. Prep Sessions is our monthly webinar series for educators. We pick a theme each month. We pick a few of our resources to highlight. And our goal is for you to leave this session feeling inspired, having a new idea or two or three, and to be able to walk away with some ideas about how you can use some of our resources to help inspire health and well-being in the young people and families in your communities. So here is our plan for today. We're going to start with what we call the hook. That will be a conversation between Jennifer and L'Oreal. Then we'll move into the verses when Pixel will walk us through some of our featured nutrition resources. And then the remix, which is where we get to come together and we get to hear from you, where you can ask us questions, share your experiences around nutrition education so that we can learn together. Couple housekeeping things. This is a Zoom webinar, so there are a few features to be aware of. You, the participants, cannot see each other, but you can see us, the facilitators. We cannot see you directly. However, we really encourage you to be active in the chat, to communicate with us. You can, using the blue drop down, you can send a message just to us, meaning myself, Pixel, L'Oreal, and Jennifer. You can message one of us individually, or you can send a message to the full group, which is great if you have something to share. So please feel free to use that chat. We'll be monitoring it throughout our time together, and we'll use that for the remix section at the end when we have Q&A. Okay, I'm going to turn it over to you, Jen, and to L'Oreal.
Thank you, Lindsay. So in this session, as in all of our sessions, we highlight that healthy habits start early. And they stick when the learning is joyful. So this month, we are reimagining nutrition education as something that's vibrant and rhythmic and empowering. As you'll see in our toolkits later, when students can sing about fruits and vegetables and sugar and salt, they're not just memorizing facts and information, they're building lifelong health literacy that will serve them and their families for years to come. So our special guest today comes to us from an organization called Wellness in the Schools. And through her work, L'Oreal Clark is someone who's committed to ensuring that children not only have access to healthy foods at school, but that they're equipped with the skills to make healthier food choices at school, at home, and in the future. But before we hear from L'Oreal, let's watch this short clip about their work.
Every child, every adult should have access to learning, nutritional education. It is my job to make children ambassadors for their own health. I am making eating healthy an everyday part of their life.
Wellness in the Schools is a national nonprofit that teaches children healthy habits to learn, live, and thrive. We partner with public schools, with chefs and coaches to ensure access to nourishing food and active play.
Thank you for that. So while walking the catwalks of Paris, Milan, New York, L'Oreal found her true passion through eating global cuisine. Looking for a more tangible career after fashion, she enrolled in the culinary arts program at the Institute of Culinary Education in New York City. L'Oreal went on to work as a line cook, a caterer, food stylist, a private chef. Her positions at Blue Hill, Temptation, Gourmet Gal, and Cooking Light magazine are a few of her culinary journeys. L'Oreal was also a contestant on the Food Network's show Chopped, finishing as a finalist. And now, over a decade, L'Oreal has played an important role in wellness in the schools, bringing plant-based and culturally relevant menus to school communities. Among her many contributions, L'Oreal has been inspiring New York City school chefs and school children to make eating healthy foods a memorable and joyful experience. And as you'll see, that is really the energy that she brings to this work. So I'd love for you all to welcome L'Oreal to our prep session stage.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, L'Oreal.
Hi, how are you?
Looking good in that chef's coat.
Yes, Chef Orange, yes.
So L'Oreal, your background is amazing, right? So you were in runway shows, cooking shows, restaurants, a private chef, and you make this incredible journey from fashion to food and then to schools. And now you've been working with hundreds of schools over the years and hundreds of children for over a decade. So from that beautiful wealth of knowledge, experience that you have, what do you think is most important for us to understand about nutrition education? Why is this topic so important for us to learn about and to share with our students?
Oh, Jennifer, thank you so much for having me, and thank you for the question. You know, I want to start the conversation with my journey from fashion to food to schools. As you mentioned, I started on the catwalks in Europe. So left college, landed in Paris, the mecca of fashion, loving the beauty in everything, that style and elegance with my 5'10" frame, high cheekbones. I was like, yeah, I can do this thing.
Stunning.
So, yeah, I made my mark there in Paris and Milan and London. But thinking about being in those spaces and having global cuisine, I thought, look, I need to think about a career after fashion and, you know, passing patisseries with fresh pastries and baguettes right in my face, the aroma of them all. I wanted to recreate these things. So going back to New York, I enrolled in cooking school. I was like, I want to recreate, reimagine all of these things that I've learned traveling around Europe. As you mentioned, I worked in a vast array of restaurants and catering, had a stint on a few reality cooking shows, not just
A
Chopped.
few. Oh, okay.
Yes. But when reality TV started, I was on a show called The Restaurant with Robin Spierto. So yeah, I was on the line.
Excuse me.
Yeah, it was really
Wow.
intense, kind of like Survivor, but in a restaurant kind of
Oh
way.
my gosh, L'Oreal, that's
Um,
amazing.
So yeah, worked in these spaces, fulfilled that kind of dream of, you know, making these wonderful foods. But then I was like, there's more, I need more. And then
Mm.
I met Nancy Easton and Bill Telepan. Um, Nancy was so heartfelt about her mission to teach kids healthy habits, to learn, live, and thrive. And here I am, 10 plus years later, still imagining and making these dreams fulfilled for all of the communities that I serve. So, to answer your question, though, what's important about what I've learned? So,
Mhm.
I think being open, and curious always sets the stage when working with children. Children are open and curious. And when you have those tools in your back pocket, I think it leans into an open space for conversation.
Mhm. Yeah, and I'm thinking about what you shared in our other conversation about when you did the chopped, how you have like the secret, there's like a secret ingredient or something that you have to, throw in together.
Yeah.
What would you say is kind of like the secret ingredient to making this a joyful experience for the teachers and the kids?
Hmm, hmm. Meeting everyone where they are, including the
Mm.
teachers. Share your journeys, teachers. Of course, kid-friendly journeys. Um, kids, kids can learn from that. The fact that maybe
Mm.
you didn't like eating a particular food when you were younger. Kids, that resonates with children. Oh, my teacher actually didn't like this, but now they do. That speaks volumes. To adults in this space and how impactful they can be.
That's so true because I feel like in nutrition there can be, like the resistance or, I haven't tried that and I don't want that. And I love that that the through the teacher's experiences and being honest,
Mhm.
um, that it's relatable, that they can connect in that way.
I
I love
agree.
that. I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
that.
Meet them at the crossroads. Hey, we're kind of here together. I want to hear
Hmm.
your voice. I want you to hear mine. Let's share this space together and create magic. So,
Yeah. A
yeah.
shared space, a shared
Mhm.
space where their stories are shared, where their stories are honored, where the stories are real and they can relate and see
Absolutely.
themselves in each
Yeah.
other's experiences. That's really, really wonderful. So let's think about that. Let's say the teachers that are listening to us and they want to get started, they want to teach nutrition education. What is one thing that you know from your experience it works? It's worked for you time and time again. And what is one thing that you've seen time and time again has not worked,
Hmm.
at least from your vantage point?
Right. I love to hear students' voices. You'll hear me say this a lot. And in
Mhm.
this particular case, I would love to poll students in the classroom. Tell me some of your favorite things, your favorite snacks. What do you like? Just tell me. No
Mm.
wrong answers here. Let's just share in that moment. Okay, they'll
Mhm.
share, they'll share. You'll get all this wonderful feedback. And then you share. Okay, yeah, wow. Okay, you like water with limes in it? Wow, so do I. Okay. So again, you're creating kind of a conversation with your community, not necessarily talking at them. And that's one thing that we do take note of at Wellness in the Schools is we don't want to talk at children or adults. We want to share this space and talk with and create the community there. So I would poll them first on the things that they love about food and nutrition.
Mhm. So polling them, getting their input, getting their feedback, and
Mhm.
then what sounds like doesn't work so much is the like talking at, lecturing to,
Right.
instead bring them into the space.
Bring them in, bring them in. We don't want to shoot down any person who, may have Takis for breakfast every day. We know it's not
Hmm.
ideal, but we have to
Hmm.
hear them and then offer maybe a solution. Hey, I see that you like Takis. I actually have a recipe that you can have those same flavors, but using real foods. So there's always a
Oh.
way around the things that they love, and to make it a bit healthier for them. Because Takis are the thing
Oh, they are the
moment
thing.
right now.
Oh
So
yeah. I
yeah,
know.
yeah.
They are the thing, but I love that approach because there's no judgment there, you
Hmm,
know?
hmm,
And that's not going to be a joyful experience if I'm bringing in my experience, and my experience is that right now I love Takis. And yeah, it's not going to be joyful if it's met with judgment. That's bad for you. That's not good for you. I love that you brought out like, well, I then that means that you love these flavors.
Yes.
And there's some other recipes that you could try that
Mhm.
incorporate these flavors. So it's also honoring what they actually enjoy.
Absolutely. Yeah, it kind of, yeah, plays into all of the things that they think that they love, but then
Hmm.
they're open and curious to receive some more information. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. So from your experience, what is the impact? What is the impact that this space can have on children? What have you seen? What is the impact that you think the teachers listening to us talking right now, what is the impact that you can envision that they would have with their students if they take on this work?
Yeah. So one thing we've found, and this is all scientifically based, is that when children eat a healthy meal at lunchtime, or at least eat whole foods, when they return to the classroom after lunch, they're more focused, they're more attentive, they're willing to partake in classroom discussions. So those nuggets are huge for teachers and students when they return back to the classroom after a meal. So yes, you may love the Takis, but it's not going to give you the umph that you need to
Hmm.
continue your learning once you return to the classroom.
Yeah. And you've seen what are some examples of where maybe you've seen the impact in action
Mhm.
with your
Well, that
students?
yeah. So a lot of the schools in New York City have salad bars. So we load the salad bar up with lots of great things, things they love, pickles and cucumbers and we encourage them, look, hey, take from the salad bar. This is a way that you're getting in all of those wonderful nutrients that your health teacher may be talking about in the classroom. And we see them eating and enjoying and engaging and sharing. Oh, this is really dope. I'm sorry, what is the word? It's not dope now. It's bussin'. It's bussin'. This is really
Oh, that's what
bussin'.
it is. I don't even know, L'Oreal. You're
It's
teaching me
bussin'.
something right now. Oh God.
So when students share things that they love, they're going to tell everybody. If
Uh,
we can get everyone to buy in at that point, I think we're in for a really great time in the
um,
classroom afterwards. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. We have 1 minute left, and I'd love to do a little lightning round with you. Would you be open to that?
Yeah. Go for it.
Okay, okay. Um, so it's just a few questions. My first question is, what is your go-to dish for children?
Oh, God. This is a great one. One that I know very well. Anything
Uh-huh.
with cheese, pasta, and a sauce.
Cheese, pasta, and a sauce. Good.
Yes.
Um, your most memorable or just a favorite teaching moment that you've had?
Hmm. Wow, there's so many, but the ones that always stand out are the ones where a child is trying something for the first time and they've told me 5 times, I don't like it. I don't like it. Okay. They try it and they love it. They're going back for seconds and thirds and fourths. And I'm like, I thought you didn't like it. Those moments are so powerful to me. I'm like, thank
Yeah.
you for taking a thank you bite. You're thanking yourself
Oh,
for giving yourself a chance to try it, and for, making the dish if it was a cooking class.
and I'm sure they're taking this home with them too, right? And talking to their parents about it and wanting to make it at home. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. We hear from parents all the time about the
Mhm.
impact that now my kid is eating things that I've been preaching about for so long. Thank you.
What children have taught you about nutrition and healthy eating?
Hmm. Enjoy the journey.
Mm.
It's not a sprint to all of the things that you're going to see and learn. It's a marathon, slow and
Mm.
methodical and thoughtful. Enjoy this beautiful and the beauty in this space.
Oh, I love that. They're so present.
Yeah.
They're so present. Children are so present.
They
Last
are.
question, the message you want teachers to most walk away with from you today.
Wow, that being present, I was going to say that. Be present in that moment, right? I know, teachers, it's tough. You have a full day of teaching and learning, but if you can find ways to always be present, to always give 100% to each class every day that you see your students, that is so impactful and students notice. So be
Mm,
present.
be present. That's beautiful. Thank you.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
for our time and thank you for, that your little catwalk led you to schools.
It
So
did.
your little catwalk, supporting children, and bringing your passion and your love and your care and your joy to this work. It's really felt. I just want you to know that. And
Thank
thank you.
you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. And thank you for sticking around. So we'll do the Q&A later with you.
Sounds good.
Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Loria.
That was fantastic. I'm going to share my slides, and then I can share a story. When I was listening to you, L'Oreal, I was thinking I didn't have wellness in this school, but I had a home ec class, and I learned to cook 2 dishes when I was a 6th or 7th grader: baked ziti and frying meat for a taco. And I have made baked ziti my entire life as my go-to dish. I made it for my mom for every Mother's Day. I still make it for her when she's not feeling good. And like it's like I just love that dish. And it was one of the first things I learned to make myself, like a home food. So I was really like connecting with how important and transformative your work can be with the students. Thank you so much for being with us today and elevating nutrition. Actually, what you shared really reinforced or made me excited to share what we have in our toolkit, because there's a lot of crossover. So we'll move on to the verses where we'll explore our nutrition toolkits and allow you to see how the music, joy, and fun can come together in the classroom on some of these topics. Before we go any further, I am Pixel. I'm a former high school health teacher and the co-author or author of many of the Hip Hop Public Health lessons, including these 2 toolkits that we will look at today. So our lessons are aligned with the National Health Education Standards, and using the resources we share today, students would be able to comprehend nutritional concepts, access important health information regarding their food choices, use that knowledge to make informed, healthy eating choices, and know how to practice nutritional behaviors that promote and enhance their health. I'm going to start with the toolkit. We're going to look at 2 main toolkits and then a 3rd resource we have. So this first one is called Eat the Rainbow, and it goes along with a song called Veggie Love. Eat the Rainbow is our foundational nutritional toolkit that teaches students about eating fruits and vegetables. It's designed for grades 3 to 5 and easily can be tailored for older or younger students. The intention behind this lesson was to focus on the underlying principles of healthy eating rather than specific nutritional trends or recommendations. We wanted to design something that would stay relevant over time, even as specific dietary guidelines evolve. So researching those underlying trends, eating a variety of colorful foods stands out as something that's so great to share with young people. And I'm so happy to say, L'Oreal, that our kickoff slide for this is to ask students to think about their favorite foods. And then we try to then build on a variety of teaching strategies that have students discussing their favorite foods and then using that to help them try some new foods. This activity, like many of the others, has both conversation, so it could be teacher-led conversation, pair share, where students talk to one another, or for this one, the option of a snowball fight, where they write their favorite foods on paper, crumple them up, and throw them, and read each other's favorite foods. So throughout, I won't highlight all of them, but these lessons are available for free online, and we'll share the link. After that, we reflect on what we love about our favorite foods, what we like about it. Is it the taste? Is it how it looks? So that when making decisions about healthy foods or new foods, it can be helpful to have a self-awareness about what characteristics of foods are important to them so that they can look for those qualities in new foods. So if they like carrots because they're crunchy, if they like chips because they're crunchy, maybe carrots will be a hit because they're also crunchy. The lesson is grounded in the concept of eating a wide variety of colorful foods to support overall health. And nutrition guidelines, since they may shift over time, this eating the rainbow does, as I say, remain steady. So we even go a little further. The lesson breaks down what distinguishes different colored fruits and vegetables in terms of how they can help our body and our health based on the color. As in all our lessons, in keeping with our educational framework and research at Hip Hop Public Health, we ground the teaching in the music. We know that lyrics have a sticky quality in our brain. Think about it. How many of you remember lyrics from 20, 30, 40, maybe more years ago? So that's part of our research model. So next in this lesson, we introduce students to the Hip Hop Public Health song, Veggie Love. And the song highlights that vegetables are one of our main sources of rainbow foods. I'm gonna play a snippet of the video for Veggie Love. The song features Monifa and Jay Rome. And this part is taught in the lesson as a call and response where students can sing along. So you'll hear them say, repeat after me. I invite you all to join in and sing along from home. Everyone's on mute. All voices are welcome. I will play a little clip of it.
Kids, now we're gonna try something. Monifa and I are gonna sing the next part, and we want you guys to repeat it right after us, okay? Yeah. We're gonna start on the count of 4.
Come on.
All right, here we go.
Ready? You ready?
Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey, veggie, veggie. Hey, veggie, veggie. I love you. I love you.
Now you sing.
Hey, veggie, veggie.
That's right.
Hey, veggie, veggie. I love you. I love you.
Wow. Mo, they sounded really good, right?
They really did.
So then they go into actually shouting out different fruits and vegetables and having the students shout them back out at them as they show pictures of them all. In order to reinforce this, what the students have just learned, the toolkit has a musical bingo activity, which is a blend of musical chairs and bingo. And it's set to the song Veggie Love as a way to reinforce the song. So the students have these materials are on the website for free. You'd print out these cards for them and they're going around and it explains the instructions. And then as we wrap up the lesson, we have a chance to address barriers to eating rainbow foods. Students get to think about the barriers they face to eating fruits and vegetables, and the lesson suggests a few in some slides that include brief solutions, and they open the door for more conversations, as you can see here. As a closing, we encourage the building of self-awareness about what you like and how foods make you feel. We want students to know how to best feed their own body. So that's an overview of this lesson. The other lesson I wanted to highlight is called Lil Sugar. This is looking at hidden sugars in our foods. The toolkit features the Sugar Cube character, Lil Sugar, who keeps trying to sneak into our foods and focuses on introducing students to the fact that sugar is not just in sweet-seeming things like candy. The framing is that we all want to be the boss of our own lives and that it can feel good to be in charge of the choices we make. And we know that young people hate to feel like anyone's taking advantage of them. They are especially justice-seeking when they're young. And so we want them to learn about the ways sugar can sneak into our foods without our knowing and why that can be a problem and also how to prevent it. As part of that, the lesson unpacks natural sugars versus added sugars, and then teaches a lot of the different names that sugar appears under so that they can start to recognize it. The lesson offers an interactive reflection on why sugars are hidden rather than clearly listed. And as in all our toolkits, the hook and lyrics of the song underscore the main message in the lesson. I'm not going to play that video. That can be something you look at afterwards. But after playing the video, students get to make what we call a sugar shaker. I don't know if some of you used to make this or made it not that long ago, a folded game like this. So the instructions are all there. Included is the printouts, the video as a guide for how to fold it. And the students fold to create this game about hidden sugars that they can play with one another to reinforce the facts. And this is what it looks like if you print it out. This lesson and all our lessons end, I wanted to mention here with an optional check for understanding that you can do with the students. And this is a way that to be reinforce the learning or for you to see what they learned and what you might need to reinforce the following day. Our last resource we'll talk about today is the song Let's Talk About Salt by my personal childhood hero, Cheryl Salt James from Salt and Peppa. Let's Talk About Salt is a fun, educational, animated music video that teaches young people and families about healthy eating and salt consumption in order to encourage hypertension prevention. And it can help round out your teaching of nutrition. I'll just play a little snippet.
Let's talk about salt, baby. Let's talk about MSG. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that we eat. Let's talk about salt. Let's talk about salt. Let's talk about salt. Let's talk about salt.
Well, let's talk about salt and how you gotta leave it alone. Just hear me out. We need you around for a while. The focus here is hypertension prevention, so pay attention now. We can find salt in potato chips, sandwiches, rolls. Many don't know it's even in your cereal. Let's tell it like it is and how it could be. 1,500 milligrams is what it should be. A slice of pizza that's almost halfway there. Pick up.
I know it's hard for me to turn it off. So that Let's Talk About Salt is a great to bring in, and the students can do a lot of work. And you can imagine in a K through 12 context of unpacking the song, learning more about hypertension or hidden salt as well. That's an overview of our materials. And we are going to move into the last segment of our session, which is getting to hear from you and answer some of your questions. So I'm going to bring Lindsay back on, and we will turn to the chat.
Fantastic. Thanks, Pixel. Yes, so encourage you to drop your questions in the chat. You can select the everyone button. I'm seeing a couple coming in here. So let's see, let's start with this one. What do I do if a student says I don't like vegetables?
And you know,
Right.
let's bring L'Oreal back on with us as well, because we would love to
That
hear
would be great.
from you. And Jennifer might come join us so we can I'll jump in here to the questions. We ask it one
Yeah.
more time because then I did a bunch of talking.
Yeah, absolutely. And L'Oreal, I'll ask the question again, and then maybe you can kick us off with your thoughts about this. So one of our participants has asked, what do I do, or what do I say if a student says I don't like vegetables? Period.
I get that question all the time.
Yeah.
No one likes vegetables, but you do. You just don't realize it yet.
Ah.
You know, for students, that say, they don't like something, we try to use the marker to say, well, you have to try it, first. Let's try it first. Let's try it once. Let's try it twice, a few more times. Maybe, you'll get that enjoyment from this item eventually. You have to understand that your palate is forever changing, it's growing, it's maturing. So you may not like something, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, but 5 weeks forward, give it another try. And one thing that I would like to say to parents in terms of, getting kids to like vegetables, I did this with my son when he was younger. I set up kind of like a grazing table at home. What I did was cut up multiple different types of fruits and vegetables, put them on a plate, and just put it on the kitchen table. And no pressure, eat from it whenever you like. I found by doing that, he was curious. He would eat things that he hadn't tried before. And then that gave him, I don't know, a little bit of goodie points for saying, oh yeah, I did like radishes. I do like them.
Right. I really love that you brought forward that element of giving your son a choice and some autonomy. And so often kids in particular don't have a lot of choices around, or may feel that they don't have a lot of choices around what they eat. And so that's a That's a really fun strategy that you used. I would also like to have a grazing plate out. I might start putting that out. It'd probably get me to like increase my fruit and vegetable intake. Amazing.
I
Pixel or Jen, anything to add before we take our next question?
Oh no, that was great.
Awesome.
But I see a
Well,
question that was jumping out at me,
yeah.
Lindsay.
Yeah, go for it.
As someone, because I used to think about this a lot when I was a high school health teacher. How can I talk about healthy eating without making kids feel bad about their food choices? And you spoke to that somewhat already, but I know it really comes up all the time.
Yeah, it does. And living in New York City where there's such diversity everywhere, we allow students, at least from the New York City menu, to explore different cultures, in a space. So, when a kid says, "Yeah, I only eat rice and beans," well, guess what? Rice and beans are on the school lunch menu. So there you have it. Or we have plantains and jerk chicken. We want you to explore other options and other cultures as you're, navigating the lunch menu at your school. So it's tough. Again, you give them choice, you give them freedom to make the choices, and hopefully they'll like something at some point.
And can I add and sort of ask L'Oreal, I know one of the things I've worked with some schools on, and that in the school I worked at was trying to make sure that no one talked badly about the school lunches or the school food at all. Like sometimes teachers would corroborate, like, "Oh yeah, it's gross," but some kids both love it, and other kids it's their food. And so I'm just wondering what you've seen in terms of how to like encourage or be neutral about how people feel about school lunch and school food.
Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah, we have heard, commentary surrounding, oh, school for lunch isn't that great. But you know what? The menu is changing. The Office of School Food and Nutrition have really elevated and made it intentional, like I mentioned, to be culturally relevant with the lunch menu. So I'm now seeing adults say, "Oh, wow, this is the school lunch menu? Where did this come from?" So it's changing. It's vast, it's big, it's shared, it's a variety of things where no one can really say, "Oh, school lunch is bad." I haven't heard that in a while.
Also, what I love about your answer is what you've sort of said all along, which is often people get prejudices or they get scared of a new food, but you're encouraging them to be curious, to notice it's not frozen in time. It's not one thing. Things are changing. And so this repetitive idea of how to keep thinking about all aspects of this topic.
For sure, Pixel. Yeah.
Yeah, I love normalizing that idea that, our tastes can change, our opinions can change, our likes and dislikes can change. And I think that's such a powerful thing to learn and to be aware of across a range of topics. And so I love that that's part of, what you're bringing forward, and validating and normalizing. Yes, I see someone putting in the chat, "Don't yuck my yum."
That's
Here.
right, Deanna. Don't yuck my yum. Exactly. If I love something, hey, you may not. That's okay if you don't like it, but don't make me feel bad about it.
Right. For sure.
Yeah.
Do you want to go ahead, Pixel?
You caught me with a follow-up question.
Yeah.
I can't help it. Can I ask a follow-up question? L'Oreal, this is national, so some people may be in places where their school lunch that hasn't had the attention that New York City school lunch has had. New York City clearly and other places can be models of how to go about it. But what might you say to someone who wants to start, a teacher who wants to start to build a relationship with the cafeteria or start to become more involved in what is offered?
Wow, that's a great question.
Yeah.
I would ask that teacher to first talk to their principal in the school, because the principal is the leader. They can kind of determine what the cafeteria's offerings are and to add more variety. So let's start with the school leadership first, and then the school leadership can then talk to the school foods managers and the kitchen team to bring on, a variety of different foods that are appealing, hopefully.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, love that. I'm wondering, this is sort of where a lot of these questions are kind of continuing in a similar vein. Um, but questions about fast food. A lot of students eat fast food. It's convenient, you know, fortunately it's inexpensive. You know, how do you balance, or how have you found in your experience balancing the realities of what's available to folks, what they may like and prefer? I mean, French fries, like yum, especially on a stressful day. How do we balance that with some of the healthy eating messages that we're trying
Yeah,
to convey?
I'm starting to see in the fast food model that they're offering healthier choices.
Mm,
Instead of getting the fried nuggets, there's a grilled nugget option. Instead of
Mm,
the fries, you can lean into a fruit or a salad.
mm,
So again, the choice is yours, but kids can't, or even adults, I know we're talking in a space for K through high school, but even adults, if they can model, let's try these grilled nuggets and see
mm,
what they're like. Maybe they are tasty. Um, there's choice there. We don't always
yeah,
have to lean into those things that, are gonna rise our sodium levels or the
right.
sugar levels. It is hard, especially when, you reach the high school level. If they haven't had like a foundation laid to talk about, making particular food choices, then yeah, they're gonna lean into the fries and the burgers every chance they get. So that's a tough one, but I think continuing the education piece in the schools would be helpful. And just, I want to mention here that Wellness in the Schools has all of this wonderful programming that Pixel mentioned, with the salt, which I love that salt, man, that salt and pepper, that video. I didn't want you to turn it off either. Um, we have short nutritional lessons, 20 minutes, that speak to sodium and salt and
mm,
sugar overload
Mhm.
and all of these wonderful nutritional facts. We get kids to talk about their favorite drinks like sodas and
Yeah.
Gatorades, and we physically have them measure out the amount of sugar in those drinks. So right away, there's an impact
mm.
in the classroom with what students are, loving, or so they think. Maybe not so after they see so much sugar or
Yeah.
salt in an item.
One of the things I heard in your answer was underscoring another piece that you've talked about with us throughout this evening, which is leaning into experimenting and curiosity. The like, I've always gotten fried chicken nuggets, but you know what? Let's see. Let me try the grilled ones. So I love that too, that theme, that idea of, encouraging ourselves and young people and families to try something, just give it a try.
Give it a try. That's all we're
Yeah.
asking. And I'm glad, I'm happy to see that fast food
Yeah.
restaurants are offering these choices
Yeah.
because we
Well,
didn't see grilled items. I hadn't
Right.
seen grilled
Yeah.
anything, chicken nuggets, no. So
Yeah.
I'm happy that they're jumping on board.
Yeah.
it might be a good
Yeah.
lead in. I wish we could keep asking questions, but in order to wrap up, I'm thinking actually, we often ask people, what's a next step or something you would want to do for your students, but like, where could you bloom your curiosity? Like, if I could rewrite this slide, I might say, like, what do you want to be curious about? What curiosity space for curiosity do you want to bring to your students around nutrition? So for everyone who's listening, to think about is there a concrete next step? Is there something you could do to make sure you follow up about it? We've posted a lot of the information in the chat where you can find what we've been discussing today. So to close out.
We're closing out. Thank you again so much for being here, L'Oreal. Thank you for joining us. This has just been a wonderful conversation. I feel like I've learned so much, and thank you for the work that you're doing and the inspiration that you're bringing. So thank you very, very much. For all of you who are joining us, we hope you'll join us again at our next prep session at the end of March, where we'll be looking at resources around health and well-being within the context of a changing climate. We've got some really great partners who are going to join us and some great resources to help you tackle these complex and sometimes difficult topics with young people.